Welcome back, guys. My name is Darwin from the Optimal Physique, and today is leg day number 1. Okay, so today is going to be a leg day, but this is my first leg day of my training week. Basically, dalawa yung leg sessions na pinoprogram ko sa routine ko. Kasi, for a few reasons actually. Kasi unang-una, napaka-taxing niya sa katawan para sa akin. When you're training a big muscle group, by the way, yung legs natin, ang pinakamalaking muscle group sa buong katawan. Alright, so second lang yung back muscles natin actually. Legs are the biggest muscle group in your whole body. And when you go through compound movements, especially for legs, sobrang taxing niya sa katawan. Sobrang nakakapagod, and it really hits your central nervous system hard. Ngayon, para sa mga hindi nakakaalam, yung central nervous system natin, yun yung nagko-control sa bodily functions natin. It basically is your brain connected to your spinal cord. So yung spinal cord natin na nagko-connect din sa lahat ng appendages natin sa buong katawan basically. It controls everything. Ngayon, pag tinatax mo ng ganun kagrabe yung nervous system mo, especially your central nervous system, recovery will be hard. So mas mahirap mag-recover pag masyado mo siyang tinatax. When you accumulate too much fatigue, mas mahihirapan ka talagang mag-recover. So, I manage this by having 2 leg days. Ngayon, yung 2 leg days ko, magkaiba sila in terms of the movements that I perform, the muscle groups in my legs that I target, and basically yung intensity niya din. Ngayon, itong leg day number 1 ko, less intense siya sa leg day number 2. But, mas maraming compound movements dito sa leg day number 1. Okay? So, basically, we will perform, I think, 4 movements in this workout. Kung tama yung bilang ko, hopefully. Mostly compound movements, tsaka isang accessory exercise para sa calves. Alright? Kasi hindi ako gifted when it comes to the calf game. So, I really need to train it a lot. I need to put in a lot of volume into it. So, ayun. Once again, bago tayo magsimula, if you think this video will help you or has helped you, or the previous videos that we have in the channel has helped you in your training, and you know somebody that actually needs to watch it, that you think needs to watch it, kung may kilala kayo, tropa nyo sa gym, kasama nyo lagi mag-workout, yung training partner nyo, na feeling nyo makakatulong sa kanila yung mga videos na to, please share this with them. Gusto ko lang talaga kasi mag-advocate ng knowledge and safety, syempre, when it comes to your training. Kung gusto nyo po ng scientifically accurate knowledge and information when it comes to training and nutrition, when it comes to bodybuilding, physique sports, strength training, please join the Facebook group that we have. It's called the Optimal Physique. I'll leave a link in the description down below, and you can join us there. Just request. It's a private group, by the way, kasi gusto ko ma-filter yung mga members natin. I just want the people who are actually seeking knowledge, tsaka yung walang, ibig sabihin yung walang masamang intention. No, kung nandoon kayo sa group, magigets nyo yan. Pinag-usapan natin yan before. Shoutout sa dedicated members natin, especially the newer ones. Sila Celiwin, Christian Sarmento, Nico Cho, sila Drex, and welcome sa The Optimal Physique. Hopefully you guys learn a thing or two. Kila Ariel Hernandez, Ben Mendoza, ayan, syempre, yung mga usuals natin, di ba? Yung mga OG members ng grupo natin, si Ryan, tsaka yung mga nagtatanong na din, constantly na nagtatanong and seeking information, whether through Facebook Messenger or sa pagpo-post sa group natin. Nagpapasalamat ako sa inyo lahat kasi nag-encourage kayo ng ibang members natin na magtanong din, especially the ones who are more hesitant, yung mga medyo mas insecure, mas takot, mas nahihiya. Huwag kayong mahiya. Please feel free to ask any questions. There are no stupid questions when it comes to training and nutrition. So, shoutout kila Jake Gorteza, si Ronaldinho de la Cruz, Edson Flores, syempre sila Donald, Kenneth, si Emil, sila Sian, Saharo, sila Red, and tinignan ko kayo lahat ngayon actually. Sila Jelmer, sila Jerome, and marami pang iba, sila Richard Kyle, si Ompong, si Carl, si Ellis de la Peña. Shoutout to you, sir. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you guys so much. So yun, without further ado, let's get on to the leg workout, leg day number 1. I'll be doing a voiceover once again, and hopefully ma-enjoy nyo siya. And tandaan nyo lang yung mga cues and instructions na ibibigay ko. Mas madali siyang alalahanin, syempre, pag ini-imagine yung sarili nyo na ginagawa nyo, or if you're listening while you're in the gym, or i-note down nyo, isulat nyo lang yung mga cues, especially for every single movement, mas madali nyo siyang maaalala. I promise you that. So, the next time na magti-train kayo and gagawin nyo yung exercise, mas madali nyong maaalala, ma-activate mo yung correct na muscles, and mas maayos yung training nyo, mas efficient, mas safe, and you will progress. That's it. Alright, let's go. Alright, simulan na natin. So basically, bago ko gawin tong first exercise na to, as you can see, I warm up the same way that I would when I'm doing my upper body workout. Ang diferensya lang, nag-warm up din ako sa legs. So meron din akong dynamic warm-up routine for the legs. Hindi ko siya na-film dito kasi parang nakalimutan ko yata. Anyways, yung next na leg video natin, next na leg day video natin, leg day number 2, papakita ko sa inyo ano yung dynamic warm-up na yun. Medyo mas matagal din siya actually kasi nga meron siyang additional na leg warm-ups. So first movement natin ay barbell back squat. Complicated na movement to kasi nga compound movement siya. So maraming nangyayari sa katawan nyo at sa joints nyo while you're performing this exercise. But bibigyan ko kayo ng a few tips basically kung paano i-perform to as safely as you can. So basically, gagawa ka ng shelf using your shoulder blades. Isi-squeeze mo yung shoulder blades mo together to create a shelf for the barbell. So basically, dun mo ilalagay yung barbell. Ngayon ako, tinatawag sa akin, high bar squatter ako. Dun lang kasi talaga ako nasanay over the years. Hindi talaga ako sanay sa low bar squats. You can find out more about that if you do a bit more research on it. So high bar squats ang ginagawa ko. Even when I used to compete for powerlifting, high bar squats din yung stance ko. And yeah. So basically, you create a shelf using your shoulder blades. It sits on top of your spine. So dun maglo-load yung spine yung nilo-load ng barbell. Mainly, when you're doing mainly squat movements. So makikita nyo dito, I squeeze my shoulder blades together as I get under the bar. Tapos yung stance ko, slightly wider than shoulder width. And my toes are pointed out slightly. So, conventionally, you actually need to point your toes straight. Pero kung hindi kayo masyadong komportable, you can actually point it outward slightly. Pag ginawa nyo to, basically, ang mangyayari this will allow you to squat deeper. Okay, so kung hindi nyo kaya na mag-squat as deep, it's fine. You don't need to squat as deep as I do. Ang importante lang, tama yung mechanics ng movement nyo. And you go at least with your thighs parallel to the ground. So, kung hindi nyo kayang bumaba ng ganyang kalalim, it's okay. Practice lang. Practice lang, mag-improve din kayo. I promise. So, basically, you pick up the bar, you stand up straight, you take 3 steps. 1, 2, and the final step to complete your stance. Just minor adjustments na lang after that. Okay, so just 3 steps para pinaka-efficient yung technique nyo. Okay, I do this with every weight, however light it is. Next, yung stance nyo, pwede nyo adjust to be wider or narrower. The wider you go, the deeper you will tend to be able to go. So usually, mas malalim yung squat nyo pag wider yung stance nyo. Pero if it's too wide, it will still also affect how you squat. Para sa akin, slightly wider than shoulder width lang, personally. Also, isa sa mga cues na dapat nyo alalahanin. So first, squeeze your shoulder blades together, create a shelf for the bar. Tapos get under the bar, stand up straight, take 3 steps back. Once you take 3 steps back, basically, you do the same thing. You squat down, you take a big breath, you squat as low as you can go, and then you stand up. Ngayon, yung final cue na ibibigay ko sa inyo, try your best to keep your heels on the floor. So yung heels nyo, basically yung sakong ng paa nyo, kailangan nakadikit lang sa sahig. Hindi dapat siya aangat. Okay? So, pag nangyayari to, ibig sabihin mali yung weight distribution nyo, you have to push from your heels. Or at least the midfoot actually. So, make sure yung heels nyo nasa sahig at hindi kayo nagtitingkayado, hindi kayo nagtitiptoe when you squat. Your feet have to be flat on the ground while you perform this movement. Otherwise, baka tumaas yung risk na ma-injure kayo. Anyways, before my working sets or my top sets, meron akong knee sleeves na sinusuot. This is just to keep my knees warm. Parang ano lang to para sa akin, kasi hindi ganoon kataas yung tension nitong knee sleeves ko. So para sa akin, parang psychological reinforcement lang siya sa akin. Okay? Hindi rin naman kasi ganoon kabigat yung binubuhat ko today. So, para sa akin, parang psychological reinforcement lang. Also, I'm wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes. Hindi nyo kailangang magsuot ng ganito. Hindi nyo kailangang bumili, honestly. Actually, kakabili ko lang nito parang siguro 3 months pa lang to. Out of the 10 years that I've been training, recently ko lang talaga binili to. So, hindi nyo talaga siya kailangan. I would advise you to get flat-soled shoes. So, dapat flat yung swelas niya. At least yung sapatos na bibilhin nyo, at hindi malambot. So running shoes usually hindi ganun ka-efficient for squats kasi nga magiging unstable yung ankles nyo. Ang ginagamit ko most of the time ay nung hindi ako nagsusuot ng Olympic weightlifting shoes, I would use yung Chuck Taylors, or meron din akong CrossFit shoes kasi I use Reebok CrossFit, I think, the Reebok CrossFit shoes. So yun, parang 5 years na ata sa akin yun, hindi pa rin nasisira. So okay siya. I don't think they release them anymore. Parang wala ng collaboration ng Reebok at ang CrossFit. So ang alam ko yung mga recent shoes ngayon, ang tawag No Bull yung brand. So yun yung recent collaborations nila with CrossFit. Also, Nike Metcons, advisable yan. Iba-iba yung model ng Metcons. Meron silang pang hybrid training na pwede kang tumakbo while you're wearing them. Meron din silang pang weightlifting. Kasi yung weightlifting shoes, parang itong sinusuot ko dito sa video na to, ay matigas yung ilalim. So, imposible na makatakbo ka while wearing them, basically. So, para akong may semento sa ilalim ng paa mo. Kasi nga, they provide stability and they allow more knee flexion when you squat. So, and hindi nyo siya actually kailangan, especially kung beginner pa lang kayo. If you're an advanced lifter, then maybe. Pero, honestly, para sa akin, binili ko lang siya kasi I feel like I just needed an upgrade. That's it. Pero honestly, hindi siya kailangan. So, believe me. Alright, anyways, ito yung climbing up to my top sets na. I think this is 120 kilos total. Sa mga panahon na to, or sa time na to within the session, kailangan talaga sobrang polished na yung form nyo, especially when your weight is getting heavier. So, tinatry ko talaga na maging as efficient as possible when it comes to my lifts. I take big breaths. Usually, nasal breathing ang ginagawa ko. Big breath through my nose into my tummy. So, kailangan din gamitin nyo yung diaphragm nyo when you breathe. So, this is actually a key factor. When you breathe in through your nose, breathe into your stomach. Hold your breath. And then go down. As you come up, you have to be exhaling. So, para sa akin, I exhale with pressure. So, instead na parang malumanay lang na, parang gano'n. Medyo siya, dapat may pressure ng konti. Personally, yun yung preference ko. So ito yung top set ko. I think I'll go for a triple or 3 reps with 140 kilos. Also, gusto ko lang din na alalahanin nyo, especially when you're lifting heavy weights. Actually, in general, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strength sports, physique sports, when you're in the gym, you have to have 100% focus on what you're doing. So, napa-against ko sa mga tao na naglalaro ng cellphone, sa gym, kasi isang oras ka na lang nandun, gagalawin yung cellphone mo, di ba? Para sa akin, ginagamit ko lang yung phone ko for documenting. So, parang ganito, video ko lang yung sarili ko for you guys to benefit from it. So, yun lang. Yun. So, top set for a triple for 140 kilos. This is my next movement. Ito ang tinatawag na Romanian deadlifts. So, pag Romanian deadlifts, they're a lot more hamstring specific, which is what this whole workout is going to be. Mas specific sa hamstrings and glutes. And basically, I perform Romanian deadlifts. It's actually one of my most favorite exercises to growing my hamstrings. Key thing here is to drive your hips. Drive the movement with your hips. So makikita nyo dito from the side view, once I pick up the bar, hindi neutral lang yung spine ko. So hindi ako naka-hyperextend sa likod, hindi rin ako nakatingala, para neutral yung leg ko din. As I go down, basically, I push my hips back. So nagpe-pretend ako na may pader sa likod ko at tinutulak ko yung pader gamit yung puwet ko, yung hips ko basically. So makikita nyo ito sa group natin sa Optimal Physique. I explained this. This is called a hip hinge movement. So parang hinge yung hips nyo o parang bisagra ng pinto yung hips nyo. And that is the main driver for this movement. Kahit sa conventional deadlift, ganun din, mainly. Okay? So, going up in weight, I think this is 100 kilos. Parehas na parehas lang din yung mechanics. You want to keep it close to your shins and your body at all times. So, yung barbell dapat nakadikit lang sa katawan nyo, sa shins nyo, sa hita nyo. And you drive the movement with the hips. Simple lang. So, number 1, drive the movement with the hips. So, as it goes down, drive your hips back. Slightly bend your knees. Yan, makikita nyo. May konting bend yung knees ko kasi naglalagay ito ng additional tension sa hamstrings, which is basically the main muscle group that we're trying to target for this exercise. Alalahanin nyo lang yon to maximize the hamstring stretch at the bottom. Push your hips back while bending your knees. At habang umakit kayo, drive your hips forward and into the bar. Para sa akin, I also squeeze my glutes just for a little bit more stimulation in the glutes, pero actually hindi siya kailangan gawin. I just like to do it personally. So fundamentally, yun yung mechanics ng Romanian deadlifts. I love this movement for my hamstrings. I also consider it a minor glute movement. So for the glutes or para sa puwet nyo, kaya gusto ko itong exercise na to because it really hits my hamstrings hard. So ito lang yung hamstring movement natin for the day mainly. Ito lang yung hamstring specific movement natin for the day. Pero yung unang movement natin, which is the squats, basically it recruits or it stimulates the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the calves, and your core. So basically yung buong posterior chain nyo, which comprises of all the muscles on your back, kahit sa likod ng legs nyo, it's also included. That is called the posterior chain. So yung squats is a very big compound movement that stimulates the whole body basically. So full body exercise siya, pero mainly focused on legs. Ayan. So yun yung Romanian deadlifts natin. This time, this next movement is called the barbell hip thrusts. So kung makikita nyo dito, nakatuck in yung chin ko. So nakadikit lang sa chest ko yung baba ko. Another cue that you have to remember here yung shins nyo o yung lulud nyo kailangan perpendicular sa sahig. So, hindi siya dapat masyado naka-tuck in. Hindi din siya dapat masyado naka-forward. So, dapat diretso lang siya na naka-point sa sahig. Okay? Also, you don't need to go super low with your hips when you're performing this movement. Kasi nawawala yung tension sa glutes. So, about halfway through, you have to control the barbell to stop. Tapos, thrust your hips towards the sky or towards the ceiling. So, basically, as high as you can while maintaining your neutral spine. Okay? So, and meron ditong, I think there's one set that I wasn't able to get my shins to go as far in front as I would like them to kasi hindi ko masyado nakikita. Pero anyways, I adjusted it on my next set. I think this is that set. Yeah. Yun, so nakita nyo nag-adjust ako ng konti kasi hindi ko siya masyado nararamdaman sa glutes ko. Medyo mas nararamdaman ko siya sa quads ko nito. Pero once I adjusted, it was a lot better. As you bring your hips up, kailangan you have to push your heels into the ground habang tumataas yung barbell and as you thrust your hips to the ceiling. So yun lang, few pointers na kailangan nyo alalahanin. Pwede nyo rin itong gawin with just an Olympic barbell and a bench. Kaso para sa akin mas madali kasi pag ginamit yung Smith machine kasi mas madali siyang i-set up at mas madaling imisin, mas madaling ligpitin. So, I use this. Pero kung wala kayong Smith machine sa gym nyo, it's fine. Wala rin problema. An alternative that you can do with like this exercise at home, pwede nyo rin gawin sa bahay without the barbell. Pag ginawa nyo lang to without the barbell at beginner pa lang kayo, malamang may mararamdaman talaga rin kayo. Mas-stimulate din yung glutes nyo, especially kung complete beginner kayo. Pwede nyo rin itong gawin with a single leg. So, iaangat nyo yung isa nyong leg o i-4 nyo doon sa kabilang hita. Pwede rin. Alright, so I think this is my last set. Second last set po to. This is how I set it up. Meron akong padding dun sa barbell para hindi diretso sa buto, hindi direkto sa buto yung contact point nung barbell kasi masakit. So if you can, pag nasa bahay ako, ang ginagamit ko dito kutsyon, parang throw pillow o makapal na tuwalya or yung bath towel, tuwalyang panligo, i-wrap nyo lang dun sa barbell kung meron kayong barbell sa bahay at pwede nyo gawin itong exercise na to. Alalahanin nyo lang yung cues. So number 1, shins perpendicular to the floor, diretso lang sa baba. Hindi kang mag-full rep, not all the way down. You have to feel the stretch in your glutes and the contraction pag nag-thrust kayo pataas. So thrust it all the way up into the ceiling. Keep your chin tucked in. So ididikit nyo lang yung baba nyo sa chest nyo. And you do it for as many reps as you can. So para sa akin, I think I kept it to about 8 to 12 to 15 reps when I was still warming up. So ayan, makikita nyo yung pagmumukha ko. Napagod. Alright, so anyways, before the last movement, yung last movement kasi natin ay calves. At ayokong gamitin tong squat shoes ko kasi sobrang tigas ng ilalim niya. And if I did calf raises with this, baka masira yung sapatos. So I just take care of it like that. Hindi ko siya hinahayaan na tumiklop yung sapatos basically. Kailangan lagi lang siyang patag. Parang Jordans lang. And so anyways, tinanggal ko na rin yung knee sleeves ko just to get ready for the last exercise. So ito na yung last exercise natin. This is for the calves. Gamit ko din dito yung Smith machine. Standing calf raises ang gagawin natin. Medyo nahirapan ako i-set up yung standing calf raises kasi medyo weird yung step board na ginagamit ko kasi malambot. So, hindi ganun ka-stable yung paa ko. Makikita nyo mamaya. Pero, wala. Yun na yung sinimulan ko. So, tinapos ko na din na parang ganito. So anyways, this is how it looks. Meron akong step board dyan sa harap ko. I think you can see that. And so I take the bar off. Tapos hinahayaan ko talagang mag-stretch yung calves ko all the way down until yung heels ko ay nasa sahig na. Basically. So ayan. So from there, I go down. I pause for about 4 seconds and then I go up 1 second, going down 2 seconds. So roughly ganun yung tempo ko dun sa every rep. Ayan, makikita nyo dyan parang kinancel ko yung set kasi medyo nawiwirdoan talaga ako dun sa technique niya and dun sa step board na ginagamit ko. So pinalitan ko yung step board. Ngayon, nag-eksperimento pa rin ako kung anong angle ng step board dapat ang gagamitin ko. Yeah, anyways, so about 4 seconds at the stretch, 3 to 4 seconds, tapos going up 1 second and going down about 2 seconds. Okay, so roughly ganun yung tempo dapat na gawin nyo to maximize stimulation in the calf muscle. So, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, 1 second, 1, 2, ganun lang. So, 2 seconds, 4 seconds ngayon, and up, 1 second, 2 seconds down, 1, 2, 4 seconds hold at the stretch, 1 second coming up to contract. So, pag ginagawa nyo itong calf raises, kailangan talaga tumingkayad kayo. So, makikita nyo yung ibabaw ng paa ko. Talagang nakadiretso siya sa sahig. Tapos, yung daliri ko lang talaga sa paa, yung magko-contact dun sa step board. So basically yung the balls of your feet, so yung buto na bilog-bilog sa puno nung daliri nyo sa paa, yun dapat yung naka-contact sa step board or sa platform na ginagamit nyo. Kung meron kayong calf raise machine sa gym, yun magaling. Maganda yun actually. Wala ako dito sa gym ko, so I make do. Makeshift lang yung mga ginagawa ko. I try my best to build my own. Tsaka ganun talaga, when you have enough experience in the gym, makakahanap ka talaga ng paraan to innovate. Yan, makikita nyo, ang lambot ng step board. Para talaga siyang nakakainis lang. Medyo nainis ako dito. Kasi tumatalbog halos yung paa ko at lumulubog. No? So, coming up. Ayan. Yung next leg workout natin, by the way, I will also have a variation of a calf raise or a calf press. Gagawin natin yun next time, makikita nyo. Ibang variation siya. Tsaka, when you're training calves, you have to try and hit different angles. Ito, isang angle lang to basically. So, parang nakadiretso lang yung paa ko dito, pointed straight forward, and going up on my big toe. So, ganun lang. Ngayon, medyo pagod na ako dito kasi medyo binigatan ko yung weight for calves. Ayan. So, kaya madami na akong pahinga dito. Talagang stretch na ako ng stretch. Tsaka, yung step board kasi talaga kailangan ko mag-readjust kasi dumudulas yung paa ko pababa. So, try your best to always reset your technique or your form bago kayo mag next rep. Kahit na accession ng panahon, kahit na feeling nyo accession ng energy, do it still kasi yung safety nyo dapat yung priority nyo. So kung hindi kayo confident sa next rep o feeling nyo magiging mali yung pagka-execute nyo ng next rep, reset your technique and reset your form. Okay? So this is basically my last set. Watch out for the next video. Yung next video na i-release ko ay nutrition-based. I will teach you about calories and macronutrients. Tsaka tuturuan ko kayo ng mga hack para hindi na kayo laging kumakain ng sobrang malabsa na dry na makunat na karton, parang chicken breast, tsaka broccoli, di ba? Kasi and sobrang daming paraan para makakain kayo ng maayos, ng masarap, ng tama, while still meeting your caloric needs. So, at gagawin ko na as Pinoy as possible yung maituturo na hack sa inyo kasi syempre minsan talaga kailangan pangmasa yung pagkain, no choice tayo. Minsan wala tayong masyadong budget, normal lang yun, and I want to help you guys as best I can. Gagawin kong as realistic as possible para sa sitwasyon nating lahat yung mga hacks na ituturo sa inyo. Hindi ko kayo papakainin ng mga pagkain ng Amerikano, mga ganun. Okay, so anyways, this is the Optimal Physique. I will see you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe.